Talking finances now and the damage estimates that have been calculated after the recent wildfires in western Oklahoma. Dr. Amy Hagerman runs the numbers.
We're about a month out from the wildfires that ravaged western Oklahoma in late February, and now we're starting to get some estimate of the damages that were done. So we worked together with Daryl Peel to get an estimate of the agricultural damage mainly in these western counties. Now in total across the western counties, it was about $32.9 million worth of damages. So these damages are mainly focused on land that's currently in agricultural use. Now, if we break that down by counties, Ellis County had the highest number of burned acres. So if we look at the damages specifically to Ellis County, and that's both the Catesby fire and the Smokehouse Creek fire, then we're looking at about 112,000 acres burned in Ellis County. So one of the largest cost categories in these fires is the cost of fencing, about $6.7 million in expected fencing, repair, and replacement costs for Ellis County. This is followed by the cost of cattle that were lost in this fire, and then the cost of feeding those cattle at about $3 million. So for cattle producer losses, we're looking at about $5.8 million in recovery costs. And this isn't including the cattle that actually died in the fire or had to be sold at a loss on the market. About 674 head of cattle and calves perished in the fire, according to these estimates, and about 15,000 head of cattle were displaced and have to be fed while pastures recovered. In total, about $22.7 million of damages are estimated for Ellis County, or about $203 per burned acre. Now again, it's important to remember that these are preliminary numbers. The actual cost of replacement for cattle, the actual cost of replacement for hay or for fencing could be higher than what we're looking at for these initial estimates, especially as we're looking at continued shortages in some of these different kinds of inputs for production. So numbers could go up over time as we get more information. But it's important to realize the extent of these damages as we move forward into this recovery period. And as producers begin to look at those programs that are available through USDA for recovery, thinking about how to replace fences through the Emergency Conservation Program, thinking about replacing cattle and getting some help with paying for those costs through the Livestock Indemnity Program, or using the Emergency Assistance for Livestock, Honeybees, and Farm-Raised Fish Program, ELAP, to get some additional help with hauling hay into the region. If you'd like more details about these economic damage estimates, you can find them on sunup.okstate.edu.